I'm Jordan Wilcox, your Utah tax attorney. When life gets overwhelming, some things tend to fall by the side.
I'm Carlos Sanchez from Draper, Utah. I was managing a business, getting paid, and my wife got sick. We filed taxes, but then we got audited. The amount that the IRS came up with, close to $250,000.
Let's solve your IRS nightmare.
And the offer compromise was about $7,600. That's it.
Visit endtaxworry.com.
It was worth it. I'm okay.
endtaxworry.com.
Welcome to the KSL Real Estate Show. Hear updates on the national and local Utah real estate markets. We cover residential and commercial properties. Plus, get inspiring ideas to make your house a home from our sponsor, Osmond Designs. Here's Heather Osmond and Jeff Caplan on KSL News Radio.
Welcome to the KSL Real Estate Show. Thanks so much for listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. And today we're talking about one of the most fascinating areas of the market right now, specifically commercial real estate, which is one of my very favorite segments. Talking points. Let's go, Jeff.
Okay, first of all, the last time I was paying any attention to commercial real estate, they were boarding up every piece of commercial real estate in the world. The office buildings were going empty. We weren't going to need them anymore. Commercial real estate was dead. So I haven't paid attention since. Where are we?
Okay, in Utah, commercial real estate is still booming. Office is definitely the slowest sector in the market. There are a lot of vacant office space. I think just because of COVID, people went home and they did not come back or they did not renew those leases. A lot of that Class A office is vacant. There used to be a huge swing in you had to have a basketball court and a weight room, and you had to have a masseuse and a hairstylist, for all these high-tech guys, and that doesn't seem to be a thing anymore, which is really interesting.
We have a high-tech operation in this building. If you go up a few floors, you're going to see all of that.
I've seen it.
You've been up there.
Well, you get off the wrong elevator sometimes, and it opens up, and I'm like, KSL.
Did you see their patio overlooking the city with the Weber grill out there and all the sports equipment and like that?
Yeah. Absolutely incredible. KSL Studios does not look like that floor, let's be honest.
Nope.
But office is slow. However, retail is booming, and that's personally where I am investing right now. I love commercial real estate. Back in the day, my story is my husband and I wanted to buy our first home, and we didn't have a lot of money. We were broke, like most newlyweds. We purchased our first home. We lived in the basement. We actually finished the basement that was unfinished. Tiny little basement. It truly had 2 bedrooms that were probably maybe able to fit 2 twin beds, like very, very, very small. And we lived in that basement, and we rented the entire upstairs for our mortgage payment. And then after we lived in the home for the first couple of months, we saved and saved and saved, and then purchased our second home. And we actually had 33 rental properties at one point. Then we sold those. We invested in assisted livings and did that for many, many years. And then right before COVID, we sold all of those at the height of the market.
Really? You happened to just nail the timing.
We got really, really lucky.
I mean, because you couldn't have predicted there's going to be this disease.
No. And at the time, there were waiting lists to get in, which was crazy. But there were a lot of permits being pulled on assisted livings because I think it was trending at that time. And so we knew that those waiting lists would go away very quickly. So my husband actually was smart enough to realize and be watching that and decided, he didn't really want to do that anymore. So we sold those and we started investing in commercial real estate. Of course, owning Osmond Designs, I do own my furniture stores. So that was a separate investment that was just personal use. However, we built shopping centers and we leased those out. And I call it mailbox money, because those are just the mom and pop shops. Utah is innovative. We are entrepreneurs. There are so many, not only national tenants, but also local businesses that are in these places. It's your nail salons. It's your hairstylists.
Strip malls.
It's the strip malls. Yes. And they're booming. We have all the soda shops, right? There's lines of drive-throughs for those.
Yeah.
They're very, very popular. Food is always very, very popular. We love to eat out here in Utah. I think food is our drug sometimes, right? So that's always a winner. Most of the time when we build these retail shops, they're leased before they're even finished.
There's that much demand. This must be location, because in some areas, places like, I don't know, Ogden, a business goes out, in comes a vape shop.
Oh, for sure.
And it kind of,
Yes, and I think that Utah is very different than what the national commercial real estate landscape is really showing right now, which is awesome. Retail, like I said, is very, very strong. Office, not so much. Industrial is another place that I think is doing really, really well.
What does that mean? Warehouse space?
That's warehouse and storage units. I have not personally invested in those, but I'd love to. Billboards is always a really great investment.
Wait, what?
Billboards.
Explain.
Have you seen those big poles on the side of the
Sure.
freeway, right?
Yeah.
So if you own that land, you can rent out that billboard.
Wait, you can buy the land under a billboard.
Yes.
That is something that is bought and sold, and there's a market for it, and there are agents who handle this?
Absolutely. And you can make a lot of money, like thousands of dollars. So a lot of this, you just really need to have great communications with the city that you're interested in investing in. Because, of course, you can't just buy some land and throw up a billboard. There are city requirements and specifications about that. So you really need to do your research and your homework. Find yourself a great real estate agent that can help you invest in the right place, in the right sector that you're interested in.
Wait, you're talking about buying land along a highway and then building the pole and the billboard.
You got it. Or you can buy it existing with that contract already in place.
And then you collect monthly rent,
You do.
obviously. And when you go to sell it, what makes it appreciate? More cars on that road?
Oh, for sure. I think if you can buy anything along I-15 right now, the great thing about land is they're not making any more of it. So it is supply and demand. If you can get land in the right place, you can create some income for yourself. And I think that's a great way to do it. While we're on the subject of land, I love buying parcels of land that you can subdivide. So let me tell you a little story. We owned some property in Orem. It sat on a half acre, and it was a little small house, little older home, cute little grandma and grandpa home. However, it had a lot of acreage. Well, it just happened to be in an area that Orem City was open to redeveloping. So we thought that we could put a duplex on this property, and we were very, very excited about that. So we were going to carve off enough land to keep this home, specifically on its own parcel, and then have a road, they call it a flag lot, going back on the side. It was actually pretty wide because the home actually sat in the perfect corner to be able to allow this. So we could have a road going back, and we were going to build a duplex. So we went through the city process, and we went to the planning commission. And by the time that we were done with that meeting, they educated us and said, you can actually build 4 condos, 4 units back there. So we went from what we thought was going to be a single family home with a duplex to now this single family home could also have an accessory apartment, and we could build 4 townhouse condos. So what went from 3 units now just doubled to 6.
And that's tremendous money. How much of this is politics and having to deal with City Hall and negotiating with them and like supporting them and all that?
So we thought that we hit the jackpot when we walked out of that meeting. We were newly married. We were broke. We knew that was worth a lot of money, and we couldn't believe that other people were not doing this. But I will tell you, back to your point, you do have to go through the city process. You have to be open to those ideas. You have to be okay to meet with people and to find out what the city is okay with doing and not doing, and then be flexible about your plans. And oftentimes these cities really do have needs and wants that they want from their city. The mayor, the city council, they are mandated probably from the state on specific things, which is, of course, affordable housing and accessory dwelling units and all of these things.
So you have to understand what they want and be aligned with it, and there's money to be made.
And then go find it. So that's my advice. If you are interested in investing in real estate right now, go talk to the city that you're interested in investing in and find out what their needs are, and then go find it. I have a friend that I know of that currently looks for redeveloping cemeteries. So they're going out and they're finding cities that don't have cemeteries, or maybe they have one that is getting very full. And then they go talk to the city about possible areas, and then they go and they door knock and just get out there and talk to people.
Are they going to go into the cemetery business, or are they simply buying the property and let somebody else run a cemetery?
My understanding is they're going to get it zoned correctly, and then they'll sell it to someone that wants to run the cemetery business, which is pretty
Cemeteries
cool.
Are Us or some company.
Something
right?
like that. Maybe we should go into the cemetery business. There's a lot of money to be made.
There's a lot of happiness no, there's not.
No, not so much.
But there's money.
It can be a celebration as well. But yes, very quiet tenants. Let's just leave it at that. You're listening to the KSL Real Estate Show. I'm Heather Osmond, owner of the Osmond Designs Furniture and Interior Design Stores, here with Jeff Caplan. We are excited to talk about commercial real estate this week. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We're back with the KSL Real Estate Show, sponsored by Osmond Designs on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back to the KSL Real Estate Show. Thanks so much for listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. And I love furniture and I love interior design, but I also love real estate. I love investing in real estate. All of the money that I've ever made has primarily been from commercial real estate, and I'm here to talk about that story today. On today's show, we're discussing the hottest trends in commercial real estate in Utah and across the country, specifically retail centers, restaurants, warehouses, and office space. In the previous segment, we talked a lot about retail centers and my journey in not only doing residential. We owned 33 rental properties. We sold those. Then we invested in assisted livings. We sold those, and now we primarily invest in commercial real estate shopping centers all across the state of Utah.
Which is an amazing thing to do in a state that's growing. Is that happening nationally, or is it a different profile for commercial real estate elsewhere?
Well, in real estate, it's all location, location, location. So you really need to be aware and familiar with where you're investing. And that's true even in the Utah area. There are definitely hot spots and then not as popular areas. So do your research before you start investing in real estate. Even sometimes a couple of blocks can make a big difference.
So how do you get started? Say I have a few shekels banging around in my pocket and I want to get into commercial real estate. Start really small. Aside from reading books or taking an online course, how would you get started?
Okay, so let me tell you my journey on how we were starting in commercial real estate. So in the beginning, we found a property in Pleasant Grove. It was on Center Street and Main Street right there, and it actually had a lot of multifamily apartments all around it. So there was a commercial space. Right behind the commercial space were some single-family residences, and then the whole second floor actually went over the commercial space, and that was all multifamily. So we did the math. My opinion of real estate is it's all charts and graphs. So before you ever even look at a property, make sure the numbers work. It's not emotional. So we did the numbers, and to purchase this property, we were going to immediately receive positive income. So we had a commercial tenant. We treated them just like we did the residential tenants. However, our commercial tenants kept going out of business. So they weren't very good business people.
Most startups do fail.
They really do, unfortunately.
And that's part of commercial real estate. You have to be willing to deal with that.
You do, absolutely. And even in multifamily, you have to have a rainy day fund and a safety net of money so that when your tenant can't pay for whatever reason, because we all go through hard times, that you can still make your mortgage. So we had this commercial spot. And I think it was probably 3 different businesses that had gone out of business. At the time, I was running a little side hustle of interior design and furniture sales. And, at my own personal home, I had a desk and a chair and a bookcase, and I was making special orders for family and friends and for some of my real estate clients. So that was a lot of fun. So when finally the 3rd business gave us notice that they were going to need to close and default on their contract with us, we had a great idea that maybe we should start our own little furniture and interior design business. So we did. And it was a leap of faith. I had probably 1,000 square feet for a showroom, which was nothing. It was one big room with little back office.
Few pillows.
Lots of pillows, Jeff. You know me. It's an obsession. But we had a bed, a nightstand, and a sofa, and a couple of chairs, and some walking space. But we sold candles, and it was really boutique-y and fun. But it gave us, my first start at Osmond Designs. And this is a hilarious story. And I know that all of you have your own hilarious stories if you've been a business owner. But all of the furniture deliveries that we received would be dropped off on the sidewalk by these semis. And so I'd have to call the customer and say, your furniture is here. It's on the sidewalk.
Oh, you had no room to bring it into the store.
There was no place to store it. And so we had huge sofas and boxes that were on the sidewalk. If the customer just couldn't pick it up at that time, we'd have to load it up on a truck and take it to our storage unit and put it there until the customer could come and meet us, which, was a huge hassle, an inconvenience. But back in the day, it was worth it. And we laughed. We thought it was the funniest thing. And that someday we would laugh about that, which, again, is today, which is awesome.
Fast forward, you are laughing.
Still laughing years and years later. After we grew out of this Pleasant Grove store, we became really tired of, doing all of that hokiness. We decided that we needed more space, and we needed a space that included a warehouse. And so we found this great historic building in Lehigh on State Street, which is currently our Lehigh store. It had the original floors, the creaky wood that's uneven, and it's amazing. And I still love that store so much. It has the original metal ceiling tiles. We've had actually people come into our store and want to buy them. It used to be a ZCMI and a Christensen's fabric store, and I love that store so much.
How long have you been in it?
We've been in it for over 20 years.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's right there on State Street. Come and check out this incredible store, and we have a lot of fun. Next, we moved to our Orem store. So in the next segment, I'll tell you the journey of how that store came to be, and then we can talk a little bit more. You're listening to the KSL Real Estate Show. I'm here with Jeff Caplan from KSL. We are so happy to have you, and hopefully some of the things that we'll say to you today will inspire you to invest in commercial real estate. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the KSL Real Estate Show. Hear updates on the national and local Utah real estate markets. We cover residential and commercial properties. Plus, get inspiring ideas to make your house a home from our sponsor, Osmond Designs. Here's Heather Osmond and Jeff Caplan on KSL News Radio.
Welcome to the KSL Real Estate Show. Thanks so much for listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. And today I love sharing all of my investment stories and how my background has been able to get me where I am today. I love furniture and I love interior design and I love my clients so much. For me, it's all about the people, but I really, really love investing in real estate.
Okay, wait. We have to pick up the story. You had the store in Lehigh. You decided to move into Orem.
So we started in Pleasant Grove, then we moved to Lehigh, and then we moved to Orem. So here's the story, Jeff. So after we were in our Lehigh store for years and years and years, well, okay, let's go back because this is kind of cool too. Regarding the Lehigh store, we did not have enough money to buy inventory for the 18,000 square feet at the time. So they recently or currently had a karate studio on one side of the building. And then we were able to remodel the main building, and we rented the upstairs to a dance studio. So our hokey store was just the main floor. We had karate people screaming on one side of our store, and we had dancers banging around on the top floor that made all the light fixtures shake. And we probably did that for 1 to 2 years until finally we were able to not renew their lease because they were moving, and we were able to buy enough inventory to then expand to the second floor. And then eventually the karate studio also left and did not renew, and we were able to make a huge design center on that side of the building. So, we all have our stories. We have to start small and expand as we can.
And there's risk as you take each step.
It was scary. Yes, when we originally purchased our Lehigh store, we had a flood in the process of remodeling, and there was probably 6 inches of water all over the floor. And we were just doing well to even be able to buy this building. And so that was a huge tragedy at the time and was scary. But it worked out. And, the floors were clean after we were able to get all of that out, which was great.
So what would you say to people who are scared? Because when business, and I've been in business, first thing, think of all the risks and all the things that can go wrong. All the problems I'm going to face. I'm going to weigh whether it's worth the potential heart attack. Now, entrepreneurship requires a different mental space. Is it just pure optimism? Because sometimes you don't have an answer and just, it'll work out. You lose your shirt.
Yeah, there's this motto that says no guts, no glory, right? So oftentimes you don't know how you're going to make it work, but I think determination goes a long way, and we were definitely determined back in our day. To this day, I think that we're even more determined. I love real estate, and I'm not scared of investing in real estate.
Well, no, once you have the reps in and you've had 33 properties, you know your business. You've done your 10,000 hours. You've attained expertise, and it's all different. I know business people who have spent their lifetime doing something, and they have the utmost confidence, even in the darkest moments.
Oh, for sure. 28 years later, I love real estate, and I'm still making mistakes, and that's okay. We learn and we grow, and that's part of the process. So, okay, let's continue the story. So we're in Lehigh. We find out that there's a stock building lumber store in Orem on 1600 North that is for sale. And the stock building was closing. I don't know if they filed bankruptcy or what exactly happened there, but they were selling, and they were having an auction the next week. And to go to the auction, you had to bring a cashier's check with you. So we were able to gather $10,000, and we went to the sale, and we were the highest bidder, which was incredible. Okay, so this building is huge. It's over 20,000 square feet, and it sat on 7 acres in a killer corner of North Orem.
What year are we talking?
This is
roughly.
Yeah, I would say this is probably 2010. Yeah.
So it's about 15 years ago.
16 years ago. Yeah. So we purchased this building. So we had some experience with subdivisions on much smaller scales in our residential timeline. So we subdivided this parcel. So we took the store and the warehouse that was right behind it, and we subdivided that onto its own parcel, which was 2 acres. And we sold off the back 5 acres. And the amount that we sold the back 5 acres for paid off our 2 acres and our building. So we had a free and clear building, which was absolutely a huge miracle. Was
this the game plan when you went into it?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah, because we could not afford to stay in that for very long, and we didn't really know what to do with the property. So my Orem store was free and clear, and we had some remodeling money, and then the rest of the money we used to invest in the inventory. There are great deals to be had and to be found in any market. I don't care if it's a good market or a bad market. There's distressed sales. It's just a matter of keeping your eyes and ears open to opportunities.
If I go looking for these deals, I'm going to suggest I'm not going to find them where you an experienced real estate investor would?
Well, I think just having the right people on your team will make all the difference. Having a great real estate agent that is watching for these. But I think sometimes they're lazy and they don't even know how to do it themselves. And I think that's why this show is so important today, because if you really are determined and you're excited about real estate, decide what sector or segment of real estate that you would like to invest in, and then do your research. If you live in Salt Lake City or Sandy or Alpine, see what the needs of the city are. Talk to the city council people, talk to the mayor, see what they're interested in needing for their community. And, if it's something you really are passionate about and care about, you'll be successful.
Okay, I want to ask you, because you mentioned have a good team, have a good real estate agent. Now, on this show, at least for the past 2 years I've been working with you, we've had just so many real estate agents in who've answered the question about residential real estate, what you should be looking for in a good agent. And in a moment, I'd like you to tell us what to look for in a commercial agent.
I want to answer that question. But before we do that, I do want to give a shout out to Central Bank, because they are the sponsor of this KSL Real Estate Show, and they are part of the team that you need to be a successful real estate investor. They believed in me before I even knew what I was doing, Jeff. You just crunch the numbers. Central Bank is a local bank. They have been in business for over 130 years, and they have locations all across the Wasatch Front. I'm really, really grateful for their partnership and their support of local businesses like I was back in the day. Okay, Jeff, answering your question here.
Yeah. So how do you find a good commercial real estate agent to be on your team?
Well, I'm a little biased, but I think you need someone that actually invests themselves in commercial real estate. I think you will avoid a lot of the pitfalls that are out there if you find someone that not only talks the talk, but they walk the walk, because experience really matters in this space. And commercial real estate is very expensive to get started in. So if you can find someone that is business savvy, that is willing to put in the time and the work, and that you're also willing to put in time and work to do research, I think that there are lots of different segments that have opportunities that you can make money in, and you'll find something that you're excited about.
Simple as that.
Simple as that, Jeff.
If they have skin in the game, they can be your guy.
Oh, for sure. And so many of you are working a 40-hour, 50-hour, 60-hour work week. And maybe you're thinking to yourself, I don't have time to invest in real estate. It sounds like a lot of work. Well, investing in the stock market or anything else is a lot of work as well. Real estate is tangible. And at the Utah rates of inflation, your equity actually is so great. All the stats, if you look at the last, I'll talk from personal experience, 28 years, I mean, there's crazy money to be made in real estate. And oftentimes I will make more money in real estate than I will in working a day job.
But you have to be patient.
You have to be patient, and you have to buy right. If you buy right, you can make money in real estate.
There it is. Because if you're excited and you're energized and you buy just kind of right, you're not going to see the returns that make real estate so amazing.
Well, and I think sometimes you just have to separate yourself emotionally as well. It's not about the brand new paint and the brand new carpet or the furniture that's in the home. It's a numbers game. And especially in commercial real estate, you need to find the right tenants and invest in their success. And you'll love that. So I own several commercial retail shopping centers. One specifically is in American Fork, and there are 8 units there. Let me give a little shout out to these businesses because they're all incredible. Kitchen 88, one of the best quick fast food sit-down restaurants in the entire Utah County Valley. They always have lines. They're incredible. They actually took up 2 spaces. Tapas Sushi is right next to them. Probably one of the best sushi restaurants in the area. Love them. Chic. Great job. Then we have Fizz, which always has
everybody already knows what
soda shop in American Fork. So good. Next to them, we have Fed Up Kitchen. We have a cold plunge called Sweat House, which is amazing. It's a spa. We have a Bliss Nails nail salon, and we have Orange Theory. These are very, very successful businesses, and there's a really great assortment of fun things that you can do. I love real estate. Come check out these properties, support local business. I know how hard I work in my local business, and I love supporting other businesses that are doing the same. Investing is so fun. We're going to continue this conversation when we come back. You're listening to the KSL Real Estate Show. I'm Heather Osmond, owner of Osmond Designs Furniture and Interior Design Stores, here with Jeff Caplan from KSL. We'll be right back.
We're back with the KSL Real Estate Show, sponsored by Osmond Designs on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back to the KSL Real Estate Show. Thanks for listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. And I love furniture and I love interior design. And you really need to stop in. If you are anywhere close to the Lehigh or Orem locations, come in today. Everything's on sale, and we have all the latest and greatest in all the spring 2026 trends. The bedding, the pillows, the scents, the textures. It's all really, really fun right now. Utah continues to be one of the strongest real estate markets in the country due to population growth, strong job creation, and business-friendly policies. Shout out to Utah. We are innovators. I was born and raised here. I love it so much. And there's always new businesses that are popping up. It's very, very exciting to be in this area. And I just love food. So go check out the new restaurant. Go support them. Check out the new nail salon. Go get your hair done. There's lots of fun things to support these local businesses and keep cheering them on.
We have a Kitchen 88 that just went in Kaysville.
I heard about
and
that.
I haven't been in there yet, so give me a quick review. You mentioned them in the last segment.
Yes, they are one of my tenants in an American Fork location. It's a retail shopping center there. And
have you eaten there?
Kitchen 88. I think I've eaten there probably over 100 times.
Oh, okay.
It's so good.
What do I order?
Oh, what don't you order? I love
Really?
all of it. They have this tri-tip steak meal with
I
mashed
hear you.
potatoes and asparagus. It's incredible. Their salads are incredible. I mean, truly anything is great there. You can't go wrong. So go check that out, Jeff. That'll be a lot of fun.
It's my homework.
That's homework. Okay, commercial real estate. I love being an investor, and we talked about some of the past projects that I've been involved in. Let's talk about some of the current things that I'm excited about. That could be a whole nother show, but at our Orem location, we used to have a small little old house at the entrance to our parking lot. And when we purchased that, it was owned by someone else, and they were renting it to a used car dealership. And the challenge with that is they only had 4 parking spaces. So, of course, they were parking all over our parking lot and
With their inventory.
With their inventory, they were parking on the grass. They were all over the place, and they were blocking our entrance many, many times. So that was very, very frustrating. So within an hour of that seller deciding to sell, I immediately put in an offer. I saw the sign when I just happened to be there, and I was like, game over. I don't care how much it is. We're buying it. Lucky for me, it wasn't too overpriced. It was a little overpriced, but it was fine.
But you got rid of the used car dealer.
I did get rid of that, which was a lot of pain and suffering.
But how are people going to save like never before,
Right? I know. Lots of problems. But yes, I bought that property, rented it out for about 2 months, and then that tenant went out of business. So that was frustrating. It was a little restaurant. They actually... I don't think they even opened before they closed, which was frustrating. However, I bulldozed that house, and now I'm going to be building a brand new commercial building there. And I have a tenant that is super excited. I have not even dug a hole. Nothing is approved through the city. And they also already said, I want it. Here's the contract. Please sign this. I want to buy it.
So they're going to be retail?
They'd love to buy it, but we're going to lease it to them, and it's going to be food.
Nice.
So, I don't know. SCORE, it's a national tenant, so that will be something I'm really
I
excited about
appreciate
having.
your honesty as you talk about what you're doing in business now. It's great to talk about history, and it was all interesting. But, peeling back the curtain on what's going on now is really interesting. But I have a question for you for a beginner. What is the difference between residential real estate mortgages and commercial loans when you go to buy property?
Yes. So the main difference is how much money usually you have to put down. And every loan program is different, that you can tailor one that best suits your needs. And you do pay a higher interest rate as well. However, that being said, commercial tenants are a lot less maintenance than a residential tenant.
The toilet is stuffed.
That's exactly. You get a lot less toilet complaints and those kinds of things. So I'm a huge advocate of commercial investing right now. Find out what works. There are small properties. There are large properties. Oftentimes you can partner with other people and pool some money together to invest. If you need money, please check out Central Bank. They are the sponsor of this KSL Real Estate Show, and I want to give them a shout out because they believed in me and in Osmond Designs when it was just a concept on paper, and they have helped me to make Osmond Designs what it is today. Thank you so much for joining us on the KSL Real Estate Show today. We'll be back next week.
Spring break is finally here, and for families, it's a great chance to reconnect. Plan a few simple alcohol-free activities your kids will love. Go for a hike, try a new recipe together, visit a local attraction, or volunteer as a family. Kids whose parents stay actively involved are far less likely to drink underage. Another reason this matters, your child's brain is still developing well into their mid-20s. Underage drinking can harm that development, affecting memory, judgment, and emotional health, while increasing the risk of depression and addiction later in life. And the number one reason Utah kids choose not to drink isn't peer pressure. It's you. When kids know their parents are firmly against underage drinking, they are far more likely to make healthy choices. So this spring, spend time together, have the conversation, and make memories that last. For more information and to learn more about how to prevent underage drinking, visit parentsempowered.org.